college low-key feels like a social experiment, bro, because it definitely feels like somebody like in the government or something is watching us through a microscope saying, what if we give 18 to 22-year-olds debt, stress, and unlimited freedom? It's not working. And we can be honest, nothing about college makes sense. Nothing. Everyone pretends to have everything figured out in college, but no one really has it all figured out. There may be people who have it more figured out than others, but no one has it all figured out. And that's completely normal, but with social media nowadays, it makes you think like you have to have everything figured out at this age, when really you're supposed to be figuring out your life out at this age. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And then you wake up with people not with people, you wake up next to people. Well, not next to people. You shouldn't be, I don't know if you're sleeping with your roommate. You're waking up in a bed next to your roommate's bed that you probably maybe don't talk to. You go to class, then you pretend to be productive for 6 hours. And everything's just great. And then professors assign work like their class is the only one that we have. I'm like, buddy, I have 5 other classes and you're giving me 3 hours of work. This is not gonna cut it. And then at my school, it's a small school, so you can't like troll in class. You can't make nothing funny. So it's just boring sitting, listening to a teacher lecture you. Then he looks directly at you because there's only 15 people in the class. There's only 15 people, so he can look directly at you, see if you're on your phone doing anything you shouldn't be doing. And I'm like, bruh, come on now. And then every college definitely has its archetypes of people. There's the guy that says, hey, we should get together sometime, bro, and then never follows through on it. There's the overachiever who's secretly dying inside, but will never, ever let anybody know. We got the mysterious loner that somehow knows everybody. There's a few of those here for sure. I would consider myself one of those last year because I wasn't really talking to nobody. But I somehow knew a lot of people. I don't know how it happened. And then we got the freshman that somehow looks like they are 30 plus years old. Like, buddy, what were they feeding you at home? And then you hear me, how I got like a regular voice, right? This 30-year-old looking freshman sounds like this all the time. I'm like, buddy, what testosterone did they got you taking? I'm like, I'm trying to get some of that. Like, they got full beard, voice sounds literally like this. I'm like, hey, boy, what type of Wheaties was you eating? But honestly, the craziest part about college is how it messes with your brain. And no one really talks about that. Well, that's actually not true. There's been a lot more awareness about how college is stressful. So let me not lie and say nobody talks about that. Because a lot of people say that nobody talks about something, but a lot of people actually do talk about something. They just want to make it seem like they're the only ones talking about something. So they say no one's talking about something. Yeah. Like college is where everybody here is figuring out identity, direction, and confidence. But then like 24/7, you're surrounded by chaos. So it's so hard to be trying to figure yourself out when you're just surrounded by so much going on every day. It's like they threw all of us into the same lab and then they're looking at it to see who's gonna break first or who's gonna drop out and become a SoundCloud rapper. So no, college is not just school, okay? It's the world's biggest social experiment and the longest social experiment, and none of us signed a consent form. We're just here. So have fun.